The Ozarks, it's more than a place, it's a feeling. Here at Silver Dollar City, it's the feeling we get from creating, discovering, and putting on a show. It's that powerful spark we get from exploring something old and experiencing something new. Plan your visit to America's #1 theme park today. Silver Dollar City, the heart of the Ozarks.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Taxi. Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
And tonight on the Rita Cosby Show, well, wait till you hear what Illinois politicians are saying about this horrific case of the illegal migrant from Venezuela accused of killing that beautiful Chicago student, 18-year-old Sheridan Gorman from Loyola University. So for days, J.B. Pritzker was sort of dodging, and then he puts out a statement that looks like it could have been written by any PR person. It was so generic after he was pressed. Our thoughts and prayers are with the family. Some just generic statement like that. It was so disconnected, just some like rubber stamp statement. And then when he was pressed a little further, hey, is there anything different or who do you blame? Guess who he blames? He blames President Trump. You can't make it up. Here's Governor J.B. Pritzker.
There have been real failures. Those failures, of course, extend beyond the borders of Illinois. They're national failures, a failure to have comprehensive immigration reform, a failure of the president to follow his own edict to go after the worst of the worst.
So he's blaming President Trump for not going after the worst of the worst? How does that make any sense? When we also know what happened in this particular case, you have that woman, and we're going to play that in a little bit. I still can't believe that Democratic Chicago alderwoman who blames the victim. But first, here is Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson, and he's asked, well, will you apologize essentially for your sanctuary city policies that puts these people back out on the street? And Alina from TNEC, who just called in, made a really good point, because why are we not holding these individuals accountable? Obviously, it's hard, because how do you track down if they have any assets? How do you track down any punishment to them? I mean, first and foremost, we're not even giving them the basic one. We're not even locking them up. We seem to be so much more sympathetic to illegal migrants, even if they commit crimes, than American citizens. So I think Alina made a superb point. And listen to Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson, who went after just last week the police, saying they shouldn't be cooperating with ICE. And here is what he had to say. He was asked, will you apologize? Maybe your policies, your crazy sanctuary city policies contributed to this. And he gave like a word salad answer, like that makes Kamala Harris look like a neophyte in the word salad department. Listen to this.
We're going to continue to pray for those victims.
Will you take this opportunity to apologize to Sheridan's parents for the policies that you promoted that directly caused her death? That suspect would not be in the city, would not be in the country, but for your policies. Will you take this opportunity to apologize?
Well, again, I believe that we're all grieving the loss of Sheridan and other folks who have lost their lives because of senseless violence. And let's just be very clear, between the Safety Act and the Welcoming City Ordinance, the Welcoming City Ordinance was passed 40 years ago by the first black mayor in the history of Chicago. And the Safety Act was passed under the governor, at that time, who was a Republican, Governor Rauner. Thank you for your question.
So you will not apologize to Sheridan's parents?
Hi, Mayor.
No apologies. You have nothing to say to them.
No, let's just kind of move on. Let me just kind of dodge and weave. Did that make any sense to any of you guys? Well, this makes sense to me because it's disgusting. This is the Chicago alderwoman. I want to play this again. Her name is Maria Haddon. And she started blaming the victim, not the armed Venezuelan migrant who already had a criminal history of shoplifting and had an outstanding warrant for multiple years, never should have been out on the street. And here is what she said in the victim shaming department. Disgusting.
all the time, right? And they go out on the pier, they walk around. So the kids were out doing normal things people do in the neighborhood. And it sounds like this might have been a wrong place, wrong time, running into a person who had a gun. They might have startled this person at the end of the pier unintentionally. But that's
It might have just startled somebody on the pier, so I guess it's their fault. Is that what you're trying to say to me? That to me is really a just shocking statement, but it's par for the course. That it couldn't have been that horrible, I should say in their mind, sweet illegal migrant from Venezuela. No, it could not have been that. Well, here is former governor, I should say, Rod Blagojevich, also congressman, but former governor of Illinois, a Democrat, who said the Democratic Party needs to wake up.
Well, it's heart-wrenching. It's a heart-wrenching story. I'm a father of two daughters myself. I think of parents, how they're suffering. This poor young girl, 18 years old, her young adulthood, leaving home probably for the first time to go to college, leaves behind and her life is taken from her by a situation, a criminal, an illegal immigrant, and all of it could have been avoided. It could have been avoided if the Democratic leaders, Governor Pritzker, Johnson, the Democratic Party, stopped playing politics with public safety. It could have been avoided. The Democratic Party would simply follow the law and enforce the law. It's as simple as that. And because they don't, because they pander and play politics, and our governor here, Pritzker, has this gluttonous appetite to pander to the crazy lunatic left wing of our party, which unfortunately has now become the mainstream of our party, this is what you get. And by the way, you get a governor who won't himself condemn the killing or express condolences to the family. Only today, a spokesperson from his office did that.
Yeah, and it was some totally generic statement that could have been written by a PR student in their first year in college.